I've made $415,000 this year so far in my coaching business. If you would have told me 10 years ago I'd be making this kind of money, I would have thought you were crazy. But today, it's my reality, and it can be yours too. So if you're a coach who's ready to make more money, grow your business, sign more clients, keep watching, because I'm about to show you exactly how I did it. So over the past 8 years that I've been running a coaching business, I've learned that strategy, super important to success as an online coach. You've got to be able to know what to do to market your business, all that stuff, super important. But also having the right mindset in place is a big, big key. Money mindset is actually a huge key to success. If you don't have the right money beliefs in place, if you're doing things that are sabotaging the growth of your business because you've got some subconscious money blocks or whatever it is, you might consciously want to make more money and grow your business, but it's like you're gonna take one step forward and 2 steps back, and every step of the way there's gonna be resistance. So in this video, I wanna share with you 5 of the biggest money mindset shifts that I've made along my journey as a coach that have helped me make more money and grow my business and ultimately create more success as a coach. The first big shift that I made when it comes to money mindset is I started investing in myself. Now, you probably hear this all the time from business coaches who are trying to sell you something. The value of investing in yourself, how important it is to walk the walk. Here's the truth. When I started coaching back in 2016, I had a lot of scarcity around money. It took me 3 years before I hired my first business coach. I was like the penny pincher, and I was looking, every expense that I would make, it'd be like, can I cut here? Can I save more? How do I stock away all this money so I can just be like a pack rabbit squirrel and have, this big savings account balance? I struggled to grow my business at that point. And the first business coach that I ever hired, I remember it was $2,700, and my gosh, I had so much fear around making that decision. And it's funny, I laugh at it now because it ended up being the best investment I've ever made. I made like $100,000 from applying what I learned over the next few years inside that program. But more importantly, here's what I've learned as I've started to make more investments and walk the walk. In other words, be the coach who is also investing in coaches. There's a certain level of congruence that I feel on sales calls, when I'm marketing, that I didn't feel initially in my business. Because I was asking other people to invest into working with me, but I wasn't actually walking that walk in my own life. And I was asking people to do things that I wasn't actually doing. So there was that misalignment piece there versus when I actually started to show up and say, look, if I'm a coach who's asking others, who's calling others to make these investments in themselves, I also have to walk that walk. I have to be the person who does that too. I have to be the billboard for that. There has to be congruence there. Once I started doing that, that was really when I was able to call people to that standard much more effectively on sales calls, because I wasn't asking somebody to do something that I wasn't doing myself. And I see a lot of coaches who are trying to get coaching clients, but they don't have a coach or they're not investing in coaches. And of course, you're going to listen to this and you're like, well, Jason's a business coach. He's trying to sell me coaching. Yes, I'm trying to sell you coaching. And this is what's genuinely changed the game for me. I run a multi-6-figure, soon to be 7-figure coaching business today. There's no way in hell that I would have been able to get to where I am today without help. And it took me years to figure this out because I was in that scarcity, fear-based mindset, struggling to get clients. And not only has the help of hiring coaches really been a huge game changer for me in my business, but equally important, if not more important, has been that there's such a level of congruence and alignment in terms of my ability to sell to people now because I'm walking the walk in my own life. There's no misalignment there. It's like, look, I wouldn't ask you to do something that I'm not doing myself. So when you can show up in that way as a result of walking the walk in your business, makes a huge difference. The second big money mindset shift that really changed things for me is I sought more valuable problems to solve. I don't think I've ever talked to someone who's like, I want to make less money. Like pretty much everyone I talk to is like, I want to make more. I want to increase my income, right? But I think when most people think about how to do this, they get super selfish. They think about it from a really personal perspective. It's like, I just need to go into my employer and ask, them to pay me more and they're not paying me enough and whatever it is, or I should be paid more, or like, why are people not paying me more? And they get, super frustrated about this. But here's the truth. Here's what I've learned. You get paid as a function of your value in the marketplace. In other words, your coaching, we just look at coaching as an example, exists to solve a specific problem for someone else. And the way that other person sees that problem determines how much you get paid. There are big problems and there are small problems. Why do, heart surgeons get paid so much more than general practitioners? Well, one of the reasons is when you've got a problem with your heart, that's a pretty big deal. right? Versus if you got like a cold or a flu, yeah, whatever. Like it's, it sucks, but it's not like, open heart surgery, right? So because that's a much bigger problem and because the implications of that problem, the cost of not solving that problem much higher, that person who solves that problem, who has made it their life's work to actually solve that problem is gonna get paid a lot more. So when it comes to making more money as a coach, one of the best things you can do is shift your focus from self to other and start looking for more valuable problems to solve. When I first started coaching back in 2016, I was helping musicians learn how to record and mix their own music. I have a background in music. I studied music in college and became an audio engineer in my first part of my career. And then I launched a coaching business, helping other people and teaching other people how to do that. And I made, 6 figures. It was okay. It wasn't like, massive money. But when I became a business coach and started helping other people make more money, and I was able to pretty effortlessly charge a lot of money for what I do, because it's pretty obvious, hey, if you're investing $7,000 into a program that's going to help you make $70,000 or $700,000 over the next few years from applying this, why would you not do that, right? It's a higher value problem. So when it comes to getting paid more for what you do, the most important question you can ask yourself is, number one, what problem am I solving? That's a really powerful question to ask, because a lot of coaches, the reason they struggle to make money is because they're not actually solving a problem. And they're like, well, why are people not paying me? Or why is my marketing not getting results? It's like, well, maybe you haven't really circled in on what that problem actually is, but also asking yourself, how can I solve those higher value problems? The problems that are more painful for people, that have bigger implications if they're not solved. These are the problems that people are going to pay more for. And when you've got your business centered around those kinds of problems, it's much easier to sell and it's much easier to make a lot more money for what you do. By the way, if you're a coach who's watching this that wants to know what to do in order to get more clients into your business, how to get on track to signing 2, 3, 4, or more high-paying clients month after month, I put together a free client attraction guide that walks through all of my best client attraction advice to help you do that. You can get it completely free. Just click the link above or in the description down below to go check that out now. The third money mindset shift that really changed the game for me was I shifted my focus from getting to giving. I see a lot of coaches, myself included, I've fallen into this trap, and I still do often, get really focused on the money. It's like, how do I make more money? How do I, double my income? How do I get more clients? Get. Here's the problem with this. Making more money is an outcome, and the outcomes are things that always result from doing the right things in your business. But if you're focused on the outcomes, you're not focused on the things you need to do in order to get more of the outcomes. And so oftentimes getting too focused on those outcomes can actually pull you away from the things that are really going to lead to those outcomes and get you kind of caught in a rut. As an example, I often tell my clients this: if you get on a sales call with someone and before you get on the call, you're like, my job on this call is to close this person. My job is to make a sale. When you get on that call, number one, that person's gonna feel that energy. It's probably gonna push them away because they're gonna feel like, you're not here for me, you're not here to help me, you're just here to make money. Nobody wants to be sold by someone who's only in it for themselves. And number two, that focus is probably gonna pull you away from doing all the things on that sales call that you need to do in order to make it likely that if someone's a good fit to work with you, they do end up, signing up to your coaching program. Things like active listening and asking the right questions. And, because you're so focused on the outcome, oftentimes you get pulled away from those things that are actually gonna lead you to that outcome, right? So the same thing applies for making more money. Getting more clients, making more money is always an outcome from doing the right things. And what are the right things? Well, when it comes to running a coaching business, it's serving. Your money, the money that you make, is an outcome of serving the people that you're here to help. And the better you get at doing that, and the more innovative solutions you come up with for solving people's problems, and the better you get at really helping and serving people, the more money you will make. So at a certain stage in my business, I was very focused on making more money and getting more clients. And when I started letting go of that, and not like I wasn't interested in that, I just held that a little bit more softly. I started shifting my focus to, how do I serve better? How do I make our programs better? How do I make sure that our content is really delivering for people? How do I give more in my marketing? I'm creating free videos like this that are like really valuable. If you're watching this, you've never paid me a cent. Chances are 99% of the people who are watching this have never paid me anything and maybe never will. But you're probably walking away from this video like, wow, Jason's giving me so much for free. I can't imagine what his paid programs are like. If I showed up to this video and I was like, I just want to create a video to sell you on my program, you wouldn't have that experience, right? So because my mindset is in the right place, because I show up and I try to show up every day, and I don't always get this right, but I try to show up every day with that energy of service, this is really what's moved the needle for me in my business. The more grounded I am in that, the more money I've been able to make. This is how I've been able to scale, a multi-6-figure coaching business, soon to be 7-figure coaching business, 500 plus clients. I mean, this has been a direct result of showing up, not, being super attached to how do I make more, how do I get more clients every single day, but how do I show up in the energy of service and give more fully in everything that I do. The fourth big mindset shift that really has helped me in terms of making more money as a coach is I changed the way that I saw rich people. I see a lot of coaches out there, oftentimes through no fault of their own, who say on a conscious level they want to be rich or they want to make more money. But then if we look at it one level deeper, they have all these negative beliefs about what it means to be rich. Maybe you have an idea that being rich means you got to be a greedy person, or you've got to take advantage of people, or being rich means you're not going to be compassionate or care about the problems of the world. You're just going to be focused on yourself. Or you turn on the news and you see all these stories of rich people that are frauding people or ripping people off. And maybe you had someone in your life growing up who used to tell you that money is the root of all evil, and your religion told you that money is a terrible thing. And so we all have these stories about money that are often the result of conditioning from childhood. And if you have negative beliefs around what it means to be rich or what it means to have a lot of money, even if you consciously want more money on the surface level, your brain will not allow you to become someone or something that you hate. So what often happens, and I see this from a lot of coaches who have these blocks, is you'll start doing some things that are going to make you more money, and then you might even start making some more money. And then as soon as that money starts coming in, it's like your brain will kick into self-sabotage and you'll end up right back where you started. And so it's like 1 foot forward, 2 steps back, and we're just in this endless cycle because you haven't actually addressed the root of really what's going on, which is these subconscious beliefs around money. So really, when it comes to actually changing the game, being able to make more money, one of the biggest keys to doing this well is you have to feel like being rich is a good thing. You have to associate lots of positive, good feelings with being rich. How can you do this? There's lots of ways you can do this. Sometimes it's just reading biographies or exposing yourself to stories from people, who are incredibly rich and also incredibly generous. People who have given to the world and helped people and done amazing things as a result of their wealth. Sometimes it's just being able to do good things with the money that you do make, like giving and being generous and sharing that money with other people, letting your nervous system start to associate feeling good with having more money. These are all things that might help you. We can also look at tools and modalities like hypnotherapy, which I've found very effective at helping to target some of those subconscious beliefs, whether it's around money or anything else. So over time, you can start to bring your subconscious mind and conscious mind into alignment. So rather than having all this resistance around money and feeling like, being rich is terrible, you start to associate being rich with feeling good. What I've found is the more that I start to associate positive feelings with being rich and feeling good, and the more that I've also just seen in my own life how having more money has allowed me to be more generous and to make an impact and to help and serve people in greater and greater ways, the easier it's been to make more money versus having all these negative thoughts and feelings and associations with money that ultimately just held me back. And the fifth big money mindset shift that I've made that has helped me make more money as a coach is I became a lot better at letting go. I mentioned earlier, I used to be like super scarcity mindset when it came to, how I thought about money. I grew up in a family of bankers. Like the message again and again and again was just save, 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 save. Because if times are good now, they're not going to be good in the future. And you got to have savings. I was taught that saving was really important. And I think that's a good lesson. And, in many cases, I think we went a little bit overboard maybe, growing up. And I grew up with a lot of, scarcity mindset. Even though our family made great money, we had more than we needed. There was always this kind of mentality of like, we need to hang on really tightly to money. And so growing up, I kind of embodied this story. And the truth is, this has been a journey for me, but over time, what I've learned is the flow of money exists in two ways, and the giving and receiving of money are one and the same. And if you're holding on to money because you are afraid of letting it go, because you're afraid there's not going to be more of it, it's very difficult for life to give you more money. It's just how it works. Because basically the message that you're broadcasting to the universe is like, there's not enough here, so I need to hold on to it. So of course you're going to get more of that in your experience, versus if you can get better and better at letting go of money. And this could be through investing in things. This could be through being generous or just not being like super, penny pincher with everything. It's like, how can you just enjoy the money that you do have instead of feeling like you've got to hold on to every penny? The better and better I've been able to get at letting go, the more money has come to me. And I used to hear, like self-development gurus talk about this. And it was like, yeah, I get it, but I never actually practiced it. When I started practicing it, through giving and through being generous and through letting go and not being so tight-fisted, that was really when things changed for me. So looking at your own relationship to money today and looking at it as if it were a relationship, this is something that you can look at. It's like, hey, if money were in a relationship with me, what would that look like? Am I the kind of person who like never lets money go outside because I'm so afraid, that if money leaves, it's never going to come back? And we can start to explore these things on a deeper level. And over time, starting to develop more of that healthy relationship with money where you're letting go of money freely and you're also free to accept the flow of money coming into your life. Those two things have to be open. Those two channels have to be open. So we can't be making more money if we're, super tight-fisted and we're not letting it go. So if you're a coach who's watching this and you're wanting more guidance on how to actually get clients so you can make more money, right? Because we have more clients, we make more money. You want to get on track to sign 2, 3, 4 or more high-paying coaching clients month after month. I put together a free client attraction guide that walks through so much of my best advice in this area to help you do this. It's completely free. I'd love to share it with you. I think it's going to be really valuable and helpful for you. And you can get it for free by clicking the link above or in the description down below. And if you enjoyed this video, you're definitely going to love that one too. So click the link on the screen to go check that out, and I'll see you in the next video.